special presentation, Ellery Queen, starring Jim Hutton and David Wayne.
In a few minutes, this woman will be dead. The question is, who killed her? Was it Carson McHale, the philandering financier?
I'm a married man.
Marion McHale, the jealous wife?
She was my rival.
Tom, the son with a dangerous temper?
Tell him that he's innocent.
The radio mystery star?
The man we've been looking for is you.
The ambitious secretary? The chauffeur? The delivery boy? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
This is our fourth week of bringing you world and local news through the exciting new medium of television. President Truman expressed approval this morning of the Attorney General's investigation into who might be responsible for increasing prices on housing, food, and clothing
throughout the entire weekend. And that friendly old ball of fire in the sky is going to be smiling all along the eastern seaboard. Yes, all things considered, Jones Beach or Coney Island might be a good idea.
Even though the fog was almost impenetrable, I managed to find my way to the familiar door. I opened it quietly and went inside. Ahead of me, the sound of voices. I knew it was Dr. Fleming and his nurse working late. They turned as I entered the office.
Mr. Brimmer, what are you doing here?
Sorry for the interruption, Doctor, but I have an appointment with a murderer.
Well, I don't understand.
It's quite simple. You see, the man we've been looking for is you.
But that's ridiculous.
Is it?
Doctor, he has a gun.
And the doctor here has something even more deadly. We'll just open his medical bag, and you'll notice, clearly labeled,
Atropine.
Precisely. Poisonous and colorless. And introduced into the victim's glass through the agency of innocent-looking ice cubes.
So that's how it was done.
Get out of my way. Both of you.
Is he all right?
He'll be out for a while. Just long enough for you to call the police.
Tonight's episode of the Casebook of Simon Brimmer was brought to you by Vitacream, the hair tonic for that shinier shine. Tune in again next week, same time, same station, when Simon Brimmer, America's favorite criminologist, raconteur, and aficionado of the exotic and the bizarre, will bring you another page from his casebook. Until then,
This is Simon Brimmer saying good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Son, you forgot your glasses.
Ellery, telephone.
Here he comes.
No comment. Please. Mr. McHale. How about move back? What is that? Let him go. Let him go. Come on. Counselor? Mr. McHale.
Mr. Watterson?
What are you hiding, Mr. McKell? Why don't you make a statement?
Counselor, my father's been through an ordeal. All he wants is a little privacy.
So what are we going to tell our readers?
Tell him that he's innocent.
Mrs. McKell, are you standing by your husband? I mean, the rumors about his relationship with Monica Gray.
Ramon, get us out of here. Counselor.
Mr. McKell?
I'm sorry about that, Marion.
Oh, don't be. I'll get used to it.
Ben, any reports come in from the private detectives?
I certainly hope so. The papers have already tried and convicted him.
Well, Marion, it's a difficult case. We're all going to have to go on hoping that something will turn up.
We should make something turn up. And soon.
Hi, Penny. Having fun?
How can I? I'm doing my Sonia Nivin, and you're not even watching.
Well, I've been reading.
I know you've been reading. You were reading at the zoo. You were reading at Schraff's. I thought we were supposed to be spending the day together.
Huh? We are spending the day together.
Yeah, you with your nose in a book. I read this one. This is the one where the doctor's the murderer.
Honey, I promised your parents I'd take care of you today. You're my cousin, and I love you. But if you ever do anything like that again, I'll break your neck. Now go skate.
I'm bored with skating.
Why, who's following us?
Them.
When did you first see them?
At the zoo.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure you would be too if you weren't always reading that book.
Wait here.
Now that we're face to face, though, I'm beginning to feel a little ridiculous. Tom, I'm sure Mr. Queen has better things to do.
Hey!
Not necessarily. Have you two had lunch? Penny, is that what they teach you at Miss Pruitt's School for Gifted Children?
I want another one.
You've already had two.
We've tried everything, Mr. Queen, even private detectives. But it's been a stone wall. And we thought since you had the reputation for...
Not minding my own business?
For helping people. We thought we'd talk to you.
What's your interest in this, Miss Stevens?
Gail's dad's private secretary.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe he's capable of committing a murder. Neither do I.
But my father does. That wouldn't have anything to do with your being here, would it?
Yes, well, partly. We thought you might be able to influence him. I mean, he hasn't been very helpful, at least as far as the alibi is concerned.
Alibi? What alibi? There hasn't been anything in the papers.
Mr. Queen, do me a favor. Let Dad tell you. Just give him 10 minutes.
An unofficial visit. I mean, nobody even has to know you were ever there.
Ellery doesn't have time. He has to take me to the museum, and then we're going shopping at Macy's.
Well, I did promise Penny's parents I'd look after her today. But a matter of life and death, I'm sure they'd understand.
I worked late at the office that day. Everybody else had gone home. I was expected at Monica's. I suppose I was delaying the inevitable. Finally, I couldn't put it off any longer. I knew she'd be worried, so I rang her. The phone rang for a long time, which was strange because I knew she was expecting me. And then...
Hello?
Monica? Carson. I just want you to know I'm on my way.
Oh, darling, would you mind very much if we didn't meet tonight? I have a terrible headache, and I could use a good night's rest.
Well, if I came by for just a few minutes.
Oh, believe me, I'd be bad company. We'll make it next week.
Monica, is there something wrong? You sound hoarse.
Probably smoking too much. Anyway, I can hardly keep my eyes open. I'm sorry, darling. I'll call you tomorrow.
Smudges, half-obliterated specimens.
I suppose I've gotten too involved, but ever since I started working for Mr. McHale, they've made me part of the family.
Ah.
You haven't heard a word I've said, have you?
I'm still back at that courtroom. I'm sorry. You say you're part of the family. Is that gonna be permanent?
What do you mean?
You and Tom.
I didn't know it was that obvious.
Pure intuition.
Reasonably accurate, too. But first, though, I've got to convince Tom I'm not interested in the McHale millions. Then, of course, we've got to wait for this terrible trial to be over. I guess I better get back.
Of course.
What?
It was a little before noon. I rang the bell and introduced myself. I told her I was charity chairman for the building, which happened to be true. And she invited me in. Lady Ruth collection, Lady Thelma 1946, Lady Dulcia. They're lovely. Thank you. And I'm starting on next year's line right now, too. I'm treating you like a buyer. And you're here for something much more important. I'll get that checkbook. Oh. It's a necessary evil. I don't even know how to use it. Is it loaded? Yes, but it has a safety catch on. I don't like having it, but there's so many robberies in the building this year. Let me write the check.
The subject is closed. She had motive, opportunity.
Okay.
that Monica... Mr. McKell, there's a rumor that Monica Gray left an incriminating note. Is that true?
Mr. McKell.
Mr. McKell, I'm asking you, is that true?
Were you at her apartment that night?
Very diplomatic. I finally ordered her to stop seeing Dad. She exploded.
Who are you to tell me what to do? Your father's private life is none of your business.
Miss Gray, my family's my business, and you're not part of it.
There's one thing I don't need, that is a lecture from a Victorian mentality.
Miss Gray.
Now you get out of here right now.
Not until I have your word that you will leave him alone.
My word? You mean you would trust the word of a compromised woman?
Miss Gray.
You are very, very funny.
Miss Gray, I'm warning you.
Before I call the police and have you removed, let me give you a fact of life. That is, if your mother gave your father what he wanted, he wouldn't be seeing me.
You...
Oh, stop! Please!
I think I saw somebody at the window.
Well, he's not in there now.
Well, should we wait for the inspector?
Yeah. Cover the back and the front. Tell him.
No, but they're up there.
Dad? Breakfast?
Good evening. This is our 4th week of bringing you world and local news through the exciting new medium of television, your window on the globe. President Truman expressed approval this morning of the Attorney General's investigation into who might be responsible for increasing prices on housing, food, and clothing. Mr. Truman said that this would constitute an effort to determine who is profiting beyond normal margins. In Nuremberg, 21 former officials of a chemical trust pleaded not guilty when arraigned before the War Crimes Court on charges of having plotted the war for corporate gain. And on the local scene, Mayor O'Dwyer said he'd like to see a grand jury established in each county to inquire into gambling practices. The mayor praised the Queens County grand jury for investigating alleged police grafting on bookmakers. Finally, President Truman will be in New York tomorrow to inspect the site of the new United Nations building and to meet with state and local Democratic leaders. They will return to Washington before nightfall. And now, a look at tomorrow's weather.
Well, it's going to be rain and more rain. 4 soggy days. But that static cloud cover is finally blowing out to sea. And according to the Weather Bureau, clearing conditions will continue throughout the weekend. And that friendly old ball of fire in the sky is going to be smiling all along the eastern seaboard. Yes, all things considered, Jones Beach or Coney Island might be a good idea.
Stop. I didn't know what I was doing. I yelled at her, called her every name in the book. I threatened her.
And then?
She got her gun. I took it away from her and...
Tom, it was an accident, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Did you say 30 paintings turned to the wall?
Yeah.
In a few minutes, this man is going to be murdered. Who killed him? Was it his son?
One
of us? That's absurd.
The faithful secretary.
I'll see you dead.
Her fiance.
Sure, I made a run for it.
The cheating business partner.
Well, I'm going to the bar to get a stiff drink.
The needy nephew.
Uncle Marcus, are you telling us that you've had Lady Frawley tailed?
The gold digger.
That's utterly ludicrous.
It wasn't Guy Lombardo. Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Don't worry about Ellery, Inspector. I'm sure he's on his way.
Yeah, like I was sure that he'd made these reservations. I had to tip the head waiter $10 for this table.
You want me to call him, make you feel better?
Oh, I feel fine. Don't you see what a wonderful time I'm having?
Well, let me just call him. It'll make us both feel better. I'll be right back. How about cutting a rug with the chief, honey?
Oh, I'd love to.
She's a terrific little dancer, Inspector.
My pleasure, Mrs. Veely. Neither have I, dear lady.
When Henry's ship went down, I was destroyed. Totally destroyed.
No.
A huge estate in Essex, a townhouse in London.
Oh, sounds dreadful. Hey, honey, how about taking a picture of the merrymakers here, huh?
Certainly, sir.
Just the two of us.
All right. Fine. Would you move in there? Just
Sure.
a little bit. Fine. Now, let's smile, okay?
All right.
There we go. Be ready in about an hour, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Oh, it's so wonderful us all being together like this. I say out with the old and in with the new.
If I were you, Lady Frawley, I wouldn't be so eager to be rid of 1946. Any of you.
Why, Mr. Halliday, whatever do you mean?
In the first place, my dear, I mean you can ditch the tea and crumpets. I don't believe they sound like the Duchess of Windsor in Soho Square.
What? Mr. Halliday, I assure you...
May I assure you, Lady Frawley, that I know all there is to know about you. Far from being the widow of Lord Henry Frawley, you spent the war as the sweetheart of, Bomber Squadron B, beloved by officer and enlisted man alike.
This is absolute nonsense.
Dad, if this is some kind of joke, it's in very poor taste.
It's a joke, all right, but the joke's on you, sir. This little gold digger has her sight set on my bankroll.
Uncle Marcus, are you telling us that you've had Lady Frawley tailed?
You've got it, Paul. Lady Frawley, you, my son, my not-so-faithful secretary, Emma Zellman, her furtive little fiancé, and last...
Mr. Halliday.
My light-fingered new business partner, Mr. Donald Becker.
I knew there was a reason for this gathering, but it certainly was not because of your festive spirit, Marcus.
Quite right, Donald. Think of it as your last meal, if you like. Good food, good wine, good music. A perfect backdrop for my little announcement. I've kept a careful accounting on you all. I'm saddled with a lazy and ungrateful son, a divorced and shop-worn social climber, a deceitful nephew who steals petty cash from his account. Really, Paul, if you must steal, you should show some imagination. A newly acquired business partner, busy collecting down payments on backyard swimming pools, and just as busy neglecting to tell me about them. And, of course, Miss Emma Zellman, my loyal secretary for 15 years, who suddenly deserts me for this overaged Casper milk toast. In response to this display of honesty and loyalty, I have arranged with my attorney as my one and only New Year's resolution to eliminate each and every one of you from my will. So, as my son so aptly puts it, a Happy New Year to you all.
Well, I never.
Oh, but you have, my dear.
There, that's not fair.
You're wrong, Mr. Halliday.
Oh, now stop it, all of you. Can't you see what he's doing? He wants you to beg and squirm. He has no intention of cutting out any of us.
Don't I?
Oh, you don't, dear uncle. For better or worse, we are all you have left in this world. Without us, who would you torture with your petty little games?
That's right.
I can see that none of you are poker players. It's time you had a lesson in distinguishing between a bluff and a royal flush. My lawyer is giving a party at his home this evening. Unfortunately for him, he'll have to go to the office to cut you all out of my will before this year is over.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but we're leaving. Howard, get your coat.
Well, I'm not going to let your dreadful father spoil my New Year's Eve. Darling, let's dance.
Yes. Well, I'm going to the bar to get a stiff drink. I may need quite a few this evening.
You go ahead. I saw somebody across the room. If I'm going to be unemployed, I better start scouting around.
It's you is or is you ain't my baby.
Huh?
The band, Inspector, they're playing that wonderful old song. Shall we?
Really, well, why don't you and the missus take a turn on the floor? I'll try to call Ellery again.
Holy cow, what happened?
Inspector Queen, New York City Police Department. I want the head of security in here immediately.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Now, I want the elevators closed. I want the stairways blocked off. I want a guard in this room, nobody in. Check all the restrooms.
Rawson.
Right.
Why couldn't he have gone to the plaza?
Excuse me. Listen,
Oh, Inspector, you're just in time.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Reilly, but something's come up. Police business.
Oh. I'll wait at the table.
What is it, Inspector? We got a murder on our hands. Murder? Yeah, in the alcove of the restrooms. A man was knifed, bad stab wound in the throat. The security's got all the exits covered. The killer can't get away. What do you want me to do? 4 things. Right. Get every available unit to this hotel. I don't care that it is New Year's Eve. We got a lot of brass here. We got to catch this guy. Right. 2, pick up a guy named Joseph Camelman, 346 West 77th Street. Bring him here immediately. I'll explain later. Right. And 3rd, get Ellery down here. I don't care where he is, what he's doing. Get him here. Check. And 4? Take off that silly hat.
Richard, consider my position. People are becoming very nervous.
Try to understand mine, Commissioner.
What, you've got your suspects? It must be one of them.
It probably is one of them. Maybe not. Until I can narrow it down, nobody leaves.
Well, I don't think you're being very polite, considering the people you've trapped up here. But it's your case. You handle it. Any way you see fit.
Here he is, Inspector Joseph Kemmelman.
Oh, thank you for coming, Mr. Kemmelman.
I'm terribly confused. What is this all about?
Would you step over here, please? You, recognize any of the occupants of this room?
Well, that's hard to say. The way they're dressed.
Dressed?
Oh, I rarely see people dressed in party clothes. I'm an undertaker.
Well, try.
Well, no. No, sir. I'm sure. I've never seen any of these people before in my life. All I know is I'm laying down on the couch, and the missus, now that's Ethel, my wife, she's fixing me an eggnog.
Just you and your wife in the apartment.
That's right. Well, New Year's Eve is always bad for me and Ethel, Inspector. Who wants to invite an undertaker to a party? Well, everybody's having a good time. In comes me and Ethel. They look around. Uh-oh, there he is, Joe Kimmelman, right? Then they start in with the jokes. Where'd you dig him up? That kind of stuff. So we just stay home now.
And the phone rang around 10:15.
Right. So I says hello. On the other end of the line, I hear this guy wheezing.
What did he say?
No, he didn't say anything. He was just wheezing and gasping. Well, what can you tell from gasping? I thought maybe it was my wife's mother. She always calls on New Year's Eve. So right away I figure, uh-oh, the old lady has had a heart attack or something. So I sent Ethel down the hall to use a neighbor's phone. Because I figure, maybe the phone company can cut in, trace the open line. And that's when you cut on the line at the other end.
You never heard this man's name before, had any dealings with him?
No, I'm positive.
Inspector, two of them want to talk to you out here.
Send him in.
Inspector, I have come to the conclusion that someone around here should tell the truth.
Won't you sit down, Miss...
Zellman, Emma Zellman. And this is my beau, Howard Pratt.
Because I didn't know the man. I just met him tonight.
Inspector. The print man got the phone booth. Some nice clear prints. You want him to start taking prints of your suspect?
Get him right on it. All right. Tell us about it, Miss Zellman.
$13 million.
You sure?
Lewis was set to inherit the bulk of his father's estate. The figure is correct. As Mr. Halliday's secretary for 15 years, I pride myself on my accuracy.
And Halliday was on his way to call his lawyer to change his will.
Yes.
That's when I decided we were leaving. I certainly didn't want any part of... Look, Inspector, I'm feeling kind of sick. I think okay if I use the men's room there.
All right, but make it quick. You were saying about the will.
Mr. Halliday brought us together to repay us for our sins, real or imagined.
But what makes you so sure that it was Lewis Halliday who killed his father? You were all beneficiaries.
But Lewis was to inherit the bulk of the estate, then, of course.
Oh?
3 days ago, Lewis came storming out of Mr. Halliday's office, almost in tears, and he screamed back. He screamed!
Yes?
I'll see you dead before I let her go.
McCoy, get Lewis Halliday in here. McCoy! Where is he? McCoy, what in the world?
Sure, I made a run for it, but I didn't kill the old man. Emma will tell you that. We were together.
Of course, you and your beloved fiancée. She'd say anything.
That's enough. Now, why did you run for it, Brad?
Well, you'll find out anyway, so what's the difference? I was drafted in 1918, the first war. I was just a kid. I couldn't take it, so I went over the hill, moved to New York, changed my name.
Oh, Howard!
I never wanted you to know, sweetheart, but as soon as they took my prints, you would have found out.
Did Marcus Halliday find out? Is that what he threatened you with?
No!
Howard, it's all right. Well, Inspector, I think that should settle it for you.
It doesn't settle anything, Lady Frawley. Where's Ellery?
I don't know, Inspector. He should have been here a long time ago.
New Year's Eve.
Well, he attacked me as proof of the man's violent temper.
Then you think Mr. Becker knifed Mr. Halliday?
No doubt in my mind whatsoever. 6 months ago, Becker talked my uncle into putting up $100,000 to start a swimming pool company. Backyard pools, not just for the rich, for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Everyone with a backyard.
Yeah. Now, Becker's a crook. He always has been. One shady deal after another.
Wasn't there some problem with your accounts at the office?
Who told you that?
Well, it's easy enough to verify, Mr. Quincy.
Well, verify what you want. May I use the phone? I'd like to call my attorney.
In a little while. Wait in there, please.
Any luck, Inspector?
It's narrowing down.
To who, sir?
Everyone in that room. Where's Ellery? I don't care. I want the medical examiner here now.
Richard, we need to talk privately. This is J.J. Tucker of Governor Dewey's office.
How do you do?
So nice to meet you, Inspector.
We've got a little problem, Richard.
I hope I'm not imposing, Queen, but the wife and I are due at the Latin Quarter in a few minutes. Thought if it was all right with you, we'd duck out quietly.
Sorry, Commissioner. Can't allow it.
Look here now, Richard. Obviously, Mr. Tucker had nothing to do with Halliday's death.
There's nothing obvious about it, sir. Halliday was an important financier involved in many state projects. You knew him, didn't you, Mr. Tucker?
Oh, we may have met once or twice, yes.
Well, that's just my point. He may have met once or twice with half the people in that room.
Excuse me, sir. Richard? J.J. is this close to the governor.
If we start releasing suspects because of connections, we won't have any suspects left. I've got a murder to solve.
Oh. And I'm going to have half of Park Avenue Society on my neck trying to get out of here. Now, Richard, you wrap this case up quick. Come 12 midnight, they're going to be on my head to get out of here, and I'm going to let them go whether you like it or not.
Yes, sir.
It's all taken care of, J.J. Come have a drink.
Thank you, thank you. Governor Tom.
Some pretty fancy names out there, sir. Sure wouldn't like to be passing out any parking tickets downstairs. Good way to lose a badge.
Yeah. Tell me all about it.
Hey, hold it right there.
Look, I've got to see my father.
I'm sorry, nobody gets up.
I'm sorry, it's been a ride. I got my orders, Dad.
Where have you been? Do you know what time it is?
Look, Dad, I got to get back to Kitty.
Not till you straighten this out.
These flowers.
Now listen,
All right,
son, out in that ballroom, I've got a deputy mayor, 3 city councilmen, a deputy police commissioner,
the governor's aide, and 350 of the city's 400. Now, in about 10 minutes, they're all going to start walking out on me, and there isn't a thing I can do about it short of arresting the lot of them.
Okay, Dad, what have you got?
Sit down over here. Now, here's the medical examiner's preliminary report. And in there, I've got a room full of grade A suspects.
I see. Single lateral puncture, severance of the larynx.
Loosely translated, that's a stab wound to the throat that cut the vocal cords.
You mean he couldn't talk?
Not a word. He was gasping into the
Happy
phone.
New Year,
Here's the knife
Feely.
that was
We
stuck in
still
the
can't door. figure out why he called the undertaker.
Wait a minute. Slow down.
Knock down the knife. Sit down over there. I'll fill you in.
See this list, Sarge? Everybody who's out there. Names, addresses, the works.
Sure.
It's all right, Howard. That was 28 years ago.
They never forget, Emma.
I'm going to stand by you.
One mistake and they hound you for life.
Oh, stop your whining. If you ask me, you did it.
Why? I hardly knew the man. You were the one with the motive, kiddo.
I love Louis for himself and not for his money.
A regular Argyle Sunday.
Keep your opinions to yourself, Paul.
Inspector, this is an outrage. I really feel this is a terrible thing.
All right. Quiet down, everybody. We'll get rid of you as soon as possible.
Please, Inspector. It's nearly midnight. I'd like to get back to my wife.
Yeah, sure.
You must be Mr. Kemmelman.
Right. Ethel, my wife. She's going to be worried.
I see. My dad says you didn't even know Mr. Halliday, or any of these people, even why he called you.
That's right.
I see. Thank you. And you people were all seated at the Halliday table before you stabbed the phone booth, is that right?
Now, wait a minute. That doesn't necessarily mean that one of us killed him.
No, sir, it doesn't. And your name is?
Quincy, Paul Quincy. Now, who are you?
My son.
Thank you. And you are?
Don Becker.
Don Becker. Becker, B-E-C-K-E-R?
Yes.
Thank you. Ma'am?
Emma Zellman.
Sir?
Howard Pratt.
Howard Pratt. Thank you. And you must be?
Daisy Frawley, soon to be Mrs. Louis Halliday.
That's right. I'm Louis Halliday. Lady Frawley is my fiancée.
Hold this, will you? Dad.
What is it?
I've got an idea.
One of us? That's absurd.
I don't think so, Mr. Halliday. Mr. Kemmelman, I know that this has been a rotten New Year's Eve for you, being dragged down here like this. Before the clock strikes 12, I thought you might want to wish your wife a Happy New Year.
Sure would.
Come on, Queen. Get on with it.
What was her first name again?
Ethel.
Ethel. Ethel Kemmelman? You don't know me, Mrs. Kemmelman, but there's somebody here that would like to wish you a Happy New Year.
Honey? Yeah, it's Joe. Oh, no. I'm all right. Well, I'm coming right back if they let me. Sure. Listen, I'll see you in a little while. Happy New Year, honey. I love you.
Happy New Year to you, too, Joe. You can go if you want to.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You bet.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Oh, thank you.
And what was that all about?
I don't remember giving you Kemmelman's number. I don't think we even had it ourselves.
I didn't have to have his number, Dad. All I did was duplicate what Marcus Halliday had done earlier this evening when he was dying in the phone booth. He wasn't able to leave any other clues, so he dialed his killer's name.
Dial the killer's
What do you mean
name?
he killed
That's
his
the
name?
silliest
How
thing
did you
I've
know
ever
what
heard
to
of in my
dial?
life.
You never saw the murderer.
I didn't have to. You see, it takes 6 digits to dial a telephone number. That eliminates Lady Frawley, Howard Pratt, and Louis Halliday. And that leaves us with 3 suspects, Paul Quincy, Emma Zellman, and Don Becker. Now, if you've ever looked at the dial on a telephone, you might have noticed that there is no Q. So he couldn't have dialed Quincy. Now, Miss Zellman's name begins with a Z. But if he had started dialing a Z, which is the last number on the dial, the operator would have interrupted. So it follows that he had to dial Becker. Becker. I had to confirm the spelling of your name, Mr. Becker, to make sure that I dialed the number correctly. Becker becomes Beekman 2537.
Happy New Year, Inspector.
Oh, come on, Daisy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Oh, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Cheers.
I was really thinking along the same lines.
I'm sure you were, Dad. Hey, let's drink a toast to the new year.
Sure. Actually, I did think one of them was the killer. But I never would have come up with that telephone business, not in a million years.
Oh, sure you would have. Sooner or later you'd have gotten it. No, I could.
Here.
All right, you know better than.
But that Howard Pratt, now that's Howard, that's 6 letters. What made you think that it wasn't his number that Halliday was dialing?
That's simple enough, Dad. Howard begins with H.O. H.O. is the Hollis Exchange in Queens County. But Kemmelman lives on West 77th Street in Manhattan.
Get along. There we go. Got a glass?
Yes, sir. I'll just take a look.
Happy New Year, son.
Thank you. Here. Cheers, Dad. Happy New Year to you.
All right. I gotta get back to work.
Back to... Dad, it's only midnight. You have to get...
Happy New Year.
I found these out there.
I'm sorry about what happened tonight.
Oh. Happy 1947, Ellery Queen.
Happy 1947, Kitty McBride.
In a few minutes, this woman will be dead. Who killed her? Was it the fortune-hunting husband?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The stepdaughter?
To tell you the truth, I really didn't know her very well.
The live-in nurse?
She asked me if I heard a dog howling.
The psychiatrist?
The constant repetition of words has a hypnotic effect.
The larcenous lawyer?
Just what is your next question? Where was I when it happened?
Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
She was alone and apprehensive. The stillness of the night was broken by the mournful howling of a dog. There was the sound of a car coming down the driveway and stopping at the entrance. hurried to the balcony and looked down. There wasn't any car in the driveway.
She afraid to travel by herself? What's wrong with lunch?
Mrs. Kendrick.
A man wouldn't go out and leave his door open with a valuable mummy in the house.
Dr. Solar!
The shot was fired by a sniper on a roof. He was an excellent marksman. My only eyewitness was dead.
This episode of the Case Book of Simon Brimmer will be continued next week, same time, same station. Brought to you by Vita Cream, the hair tonic that gives you that shinier shine. And now, a final word from that master of mystery, the king of criminologists, the debonair dean of detectives.
This is Simon Brimmer saying good evening.
She hurried to the balcony and looked down.
I assure you, this is not mere supposition.
Of course. I've got it. How do you have it figured? Was it the husband? The stepdaughter? The lawyer? Or the doctor? Or the nurse? Or somebody else? Now, I know you don't think it was Simon Brimmer. Or do you? Anyway, there's a hint. The body was moved to make room for something. And time is of the essence.
In a few minutes, this man is going to be murdered. The question is, who killed him? Was it the frustrated nephew?
Do you really believe that a devoted nephew would kill his uncle?
The spurned housekeeper?
He had no further need of me.
The fiancé with the shady past?
I could get away with murder out here.
The willful heiress?
I didn't kill my father.
Or was it someone else?
Hold it. I'm sorry, Reverend, I couldn't find the right door.
Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Ellery, will you please hurry?
Well, what's the rush, Dad? The fish will still be there.
You'd forget your head if it wasn't fastened on.
Chinese dog.
I don't know anything about Mr. Ellery Queen, and I don't see why we have to answer any of his questions. I found the telegram right here.
Seems like a lonely spot to leave a young lady.
How much do I owe you?
50 cents even.
Keep the change, Delbert.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I still feel bad about leaving you all by yourself out here.
I'll be all right.
Okay.
In a few minutes, this famous cartoonist will be dead. Who killed him? Was it the ambitious lettering man?
You're trying to pin this on me.
The layout expert?
Now that is bad news.
The background artist?
Don't go too far, eh, bud?
The figure specialist?
What are you trying to pull?
His disillusioned secretary?
I used to believe everything he told me.
Or was it someone else?
Now, somebody's going to have to stop you, Armstrong, and if it has to be me, it will be.
Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Well, that's it.
Are you responsible for these? Armstrong? Porter.
All right. Tomorrow I want you all in here an hour earlier and try and clean up some of this sloppy work. That's all. Whatever it is, it can wait.
Excuse me, may I leave now?
You forgot something. That you, Alma? You decided to come back, huh?
What do you mean I can't have a prowl car? I don't care if the city is in the middle of a crime wave. Every night, I explore the sordid byways of Gotham for my column. It's a Flanagan tradition.
Incredible. Everything all right in there?
What?
Oh, wow.
loses.
Morning, Inspector. You're in
Just a sec.
I honestly thought you people were artists.
I don't care what you think. Why'd you have to tell the deputy commissioner?
It was 3 somebodies. It took 3 of you to get up the nerve. You probably decided to kill him before you went to the bar to establish your alibi. On the way, you must have stopped off to buy cartridges, a box of 38s. Most of the bullets ended up in a trash container or a sewer. You only needed 3, 1 apiece. After the gun was loaded, one of you led the way to Armstrong's office. You caught him by surprise. I don't know who fired the first shot or who nearly missed. As far as the law is concerned, it doesn't matter. All 3 of you killed Bud Armstrong.
In a few minutes, this newspaper publisher will become an obituary notice. Who killed him? Was it his sister?
The Examiner belongs to me now.
The editor-in-chief?
You measure a newspaper man by the enemies he's made.
The attorney?
There was no love lost between Harriet and her brother.
The well-connected reporter?
The publisher is dead. Long live the publisher.
The muckraking columnist?
He's trying to bluff me into printing a retraction.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Good morning, Fred. Say, what did I hear yesterday about a wedding? Your daughter?
Oh, yes, Mary Ellen.
I pushed the button myself. Or maybe he got off somewhere. Good morning, Fred.
Hi, Mr. McCauley.
Old man arrive yet?
Just one up, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
told you, Raymond, I have to get up early and I need my beauty rest.
Come on, Dorothy. Look, I'll support you to a dinner, and then we'll take in a show. There's a swell Gable picture playing.
Oh, Raymond, you're so persistent. Raymond?
Holy cow! It's Mr. Manners. I think he's dead.
You find anything?
No sign anyone came in from the top.
You know, this is one of those self-service elevators?
Yeah, for Manners' private use only.
Hey, what are you doing, Maestro? Just checking it out. Why, don't you like elevators?
Not this one.
Excuse me, Mr. Dernharfer. Where was Mr. Manners standing? Back here?
Right.
I wonder if you could push the button for me, just the way you did for Mr. Manners.
Sure. See, I hope.
I just can't believe that my brother's dead.
Oh, I can spot a commie at 50 paces.
In here, you will find the truth about Johns and all the rest of them.
Who's on the phone, Dad?
Really? Still no sign of Albert Queen.
That's it.
What is?
12th floor rental.
12th floor. Ellery? 12th floor riddle? What do you mean?
I really can't say till I check it out, Dad, but if my guess is right, Henry Manners did not disappear.
Disappear? What do you mean disappear? Aren't you going to eat? Where are you going?
To the Daily Examiner, Dad. I'll know soon enough. You go ahead and eat. I'll be back in an hour.
Not on your life. Ellery, wait for me. Ellery?
I don't know. Maybe I better take a look at that badge again.
You've already seen it 3 times.
That's the mystery, and we still don't have an answer. Mr. Clear.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Queen.
I'd like to talk to you before you get to your office.
I keep forgetting, Mr. Queen. You are a detective of sorts, aren't you?
Second inning here at Fenway Park in Boston, with the Red Sox ahead of the Yankees 2-0 as a result of Rudy York's home run with Bobby Dorr aboard.
Isn't it wonderful about Judy? I guess you must have heard. They got married. Judy and Walter. Last night in Stanford. I guess they think two can live as cheap as one. To tell you the truth, I'm not so sure.
So sure about what?
Judy and Walter. Mr. Queen?
nothing like a story with a happy ending. And when Flanagan gets a scoop, that's a happy ending.
Take him down and book him.
No, move in for the close-up. We got a scoop.
Kill the first page and replay for an exclusive. Headline: McCully charged in examiner slaying. Lead off. At about 7 p.m., nationally known columnist Mitchell McCully was charged with the murder of publisher Henry Manners. Inspector Richard Queen made the arrest based upon evidence by his son,
Ellery.
Ellery. Check the spelling later.
At this moment, Vera Bethune is playing the last scene of her life. Who killed her? Was it her unhappy co-star?
Vera was not trying to get rid of me.
Her agent?
Really, Inspector?
The ambitious announcer?
She was through, so who needed her anymore?
The organist?
And that's why he killed her, Mr. Queen?
The young actress?
I hardly knew the woman.
The worried writer?
We were using this to kill off Miss Aggie.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Second thought, maybe I'll meet you there. Good idea, son. Maybe we should eat out tonight.
Any idea who might have tried to kill you, Miss Bethune?
None. Not a single idea.
Understand, Your Honor.
Well, there she is, Bud.
A wonderful woman.
Something's bothering me, Dad.
An attack of pneumonia sure was...
Never? Apparently, Miss Aggie's pneumonia is worse than anyone suspected. Until tomorrow, this is Wendell Warren. Every Day's Journey was written and produced by Alvin and Olivia Burns.
I find it very difficult to talk to strangers without my music.
I'm sure.
No, don't face me. Yes, like that. Thank you. 6 years ago, I came to New York from Sperryville, Virginia. I was young, eager, and reasonably talented. Graduate of the Warrenton County School of Music. I was full of life, ambition, enthusiasm. And yet, the city frightened me. The people seemed cold, distant. And then a year ago, I met Wendell.
Wendell Warren?
I do not know why he chose me, Mr. Queen, but he reached out and touched me, and suddenly I blossomed like a rose on a warm spring morning. Every day was Christmas. I bathed in the sunlight of his love. And then, one day, he turned cold as alabaster. Because of her.
Her? Who's her?
Please, don't look at me. Vera Bethune stole Wendell away from me. He bought her expensive jewelry, furs. It was disgusting. I hated her. I hated him. I hated them both.
Did you hate her enough to want to kill her?
Then, a few weeks ago, suddenly it was Wendell's turn to be spurned. Oh, how wonderful it felt watching him crawl after her, feeling the pain that I had once felt.
She threw him over, are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. And that's why he killed her, Mr. Queen. Because she mocked him. She demeaned him. What have I said? I love him, Mr. Queen. Despite everything, I still love him.
But you still think he might have killed Vera?
Think it? Maybe I have no proof. But I don't just think it. I know it. You mustn't tell anyone I told you this. Except your father, of course.
You have my word.
Right, Irv, I'm listening.
Yeah? Mr. Dropless, my name is Ellery Queen. I'd like to talk to you about a bracelet.
You want to answer that, Ellery? Son?
That's it. Of course.
I'm just going to arrest you and be done with it.
It's a golden opportunity, Ellery.
No.
I'll guarantee you 13 weeks prime time.
No.
Make it 26.
I want to write. I don't want to do a radio show.
39 weeks and $1,000 a week. That's a guarantee.
Anyway, I've already got Simon Brimmer under contract.
Contract? Who cares about a contract?
Come on, son, let's get out of this wonderful world of show business and grab a piece of cheesecake at Lindy's. Maybe even two.
Thanks anyway, Mr. Pearl. Thank you.
I admire your integrity, Queen.
I'll call you in the morning with a new offer.
Ah, Mr. Pearl. In the confusion, you slipped away from me.
I was not confused, Brimmer. Excuse me.
I thought we might have cocktails and dinner at El Morocco. I have an exciting new concept I'd like to discuss with you.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
In a few hours, this character assassin will be murdered. Who killed him? Was it the man with a cane? The Russian diplomat?
On behalf of my government, I must protest.
His wife with the damaging past?
But he was alive when I left.
The photographer?
It was a nightmare. The Gestapo.
Stop!
Or was it someone else?
Incredible.
Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Jenny, I've been waiting in Alexander's for about an hour now. Can we have a lunch?
Colonel Nivin? Ellery? Colonel Nivin? Colonel Nivin, I don't mean to intrude. Colonel Nivin?
Somebody was tampering with the drawer that contained the Colonel's files. Maybe the files for the book.
It's locked. Let's hope whoever killed Colonel Nivin didn't get what he or she was looking for.
Yes?
Inspector Richard Queen, New York City Police Department. I'd like to see Mrs. Dubrenskov, please.
Your credentials, please. Wait.
You know, technically, as a Russian diplomat's wife, she doesn't have to talk to us.
Well, I know that, but don't let her know.
I wonder if her husband knows about her background. Shh.
Madame will receive you.
Inspector.
Ellery?
I'm coming, I'm coming! Oh,
Good morning, Inspector. Straight ahead.
May I help you?
No, thank you. I'm just looking.
Just add this to our account.
Of course, madam.
Stop. You're really left-handed, aren't you? Write something with your right hand. I dare you.
I'm sorry, but...
You see? Just as I thought. You were left-handed all along.
Please, I don't understand.
Hey, don't push me, Buster.
Please, what's the problem here?
Get your hands off me.
Nikolai, stop it.
Well, well, well.
Ah, good afternoon, Inspector.
Well?
That thug watching my apartment was your people.
Not exactly my people.
700 pairs? All sold out? 700 pairs sold out. Have you got it? If you've been watching very closely.
He laughed at me. He said, no gentleman would betray his comrades, no matter what the Gestapo did. I begged him, but he only kept laughing.
Billy, take him away. The rest of you can go.
Ellery. That was a brilliant deduction. And just think, I'm the one that gave you the key clue.
That's right, Jenny, you did.
Now, speaking of houses in Levittown.
Dad, you think you could take care of that for me? Now, I got that while I was working on the case.
Ellery, you want me to fix a parking ticket? Pay the $2.
In a few minutes, Spencer Lockridge will disappear. One of these people is responsible. Was it the Dormouse?
Spencer's gone.
Alice in Wonderland?
It's all my fault.
The public relations man.
He's got to be killed. The March Hare.
Pardon my paw.
The mother-in-law.
Ridiculous, Mr. Queen.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Listen and listen carefully. I refuse to let anything spoil my nephew's weekend. But I'm only going to put up with so much, so you decide what you really want, what's really important, or I'll decide for you. Now, is that perfectly clear?
To be killed. There's no other way.
And I'm telling you, it just won't work.
Now look here, Ellery.
No, you look, Mr. Biggers.
Howard.
Howard? Stop where you are.
Blast, the phone still isn't working.
The line must still be down.
Obviously.
Laura? Come on. You need it.
What do you think? You think he got snatched?
Laura.
Laura! What is it? My gosh, she's been poisoned. What? Laura?
Saw him, a man running around in a top hat and a frock.
What is it?
It's nothing.
The envelope is empty.
Empty?
Empty.
May I see that, please?
Sure.
Why, that's my stationery.
Exactly. Exactly.
He can't be here. He can't be here. I buried him. I tell you, I buried him.
Paul!
I buried him under the south gate.
How could you? Here's the body.
Damn it! Under the south gate!
Thanks for telling us where, Mr. Gardner. Billy?
How'd I do, Maestro?
Perfect. Just perfect. The clock reminded me of the mirror. As soon as I realized the mirror had not been there, I knew it was movable. It took me about a half hour to find out how it opened. Just after Paul killed Spencer, he's admitted they fought about Paul's attentions to Laura. He was in the den hiding the body when he heard me coming. The mirror was out of place. He unscrewed the bulb and froze in the darkness. I didn't realize he was there. When I came out of the library with the book, he'd hidden the body and was halfway up the stairs. He covered his presence by pretending to be coming down the stairs, having heard a noise. The mirror was only a temporary hiding place for the body. Remember, it was pouring rain and Doyle was still up and around. He couldn't take the body outside without getting soaking wet and possibly giving himself away. The next night, he drugged the coffee and put everyone to sleep. Except himself, of course. As soon as I came to, I went to the den and looked behind the mirror. And of course, by now the body was missing. I looked around outside to see if I could find the burial spot, but I struck out. Don't you want to punch my ticket?
This producer knows he is about to be murdered, but not the identity of his killer. Was it the burlesque comic?
I bumped him off.
That his unhappy wife?
Ellery, I need that money.
The director?
Why do you have to do it on opening night?
The influential backer?
He had a vicious mind.
The Broadway bombshell?
I am talking about my bird.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
This is going to be a real burlesque show?
I understand. At least I think I understand. You feel you need help. But what I don't understand is how you feel I can help.
Come on, there's a run through if there's no opening.
I can see why she's a star. She's good.
Being good had nothing to do with it.
Jan. How many this time? 12 more.
I'm sorry, Ellery. I guess I asked you to do the impossible. There is no way to prove that I didn't kill Sam, is there?
I'll keep working on it. I'll keep trying.
Remember, if you want anything during the night, you just ring my...
He drew a pistol. I fought desperately to get it. He succeeded in cheating the electric chair. He shot himself.
The Casebook of Simon Brimmer is brought to you by Vita Cream, the hair tonic for that shinier shine. And now, a final word from that superlative spinner of suspenseful stories.
This is Simon Brimmer saying good evening.
What's that? Who's there?
It's me, Ellery Queen. Well, that's it. Now I know how it happened and why the murderer took the parrot.
Mrs. Packer, stay with it, girls.
Hello, Dick.
I didn't expect to see you tonight.
Simon Brimmer asked me to come.
Brimmer, you'll find him in the green room. And if he doesn't let everybody out of there, you'll find me in a padded cell. Hurry up, Dad.
Hope we're not too late.
Is that you, Sergeant Tolson?
Really? Sergeant Bealey, what are you doing here?
Homicide, what are you doing here?
Vice squad.
Simon, you wait just a minute.
This is a closed meeting. Yeah, we know. Private murder. Evile, go outside, close the door, don't let anybody in.
Right, I think I better tell you about the guy I just read.
Tell me later. Shut the door.
Are you all right?
I'm holding out if that's what you mean.
Excuse me. Hold it. Green room's off limits. By whose orders? Inspector Queen. My stars are in there. The curtain is going up. Keep it down. I can't. It's too late.
Sure missed the hot number.
I didn't mean to do it. I just got carried away.
The name is Simon Brimmer. Surely you've heard of me, Officer 973.
Okay, Buster, move it.
Officer!
No. Let's go out the front way.
In a few minutes, Norris Wentworth will be dead. The question is, who killed him? Was it the rebellious son?
Lucky me.
The long-suffering wife?
He was not a loved man.
The museum curator?
And I don't particularly care for your suggestion.
His ambitious assistant?
He died of a heart attack.
The angry Egyptian?
You have no right!
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
crossed, Mom. Maybe there really is a curse.
Yes, I understand. I could be there in 20 minutes. Yes. Something very important has come up, Brimmer. I'm sorry, I hate to run like this.
I understand.
Say, listen, why don't you have your people contact the museum? The curator there, Tremaine, he's not too sharp, but I think he can handle this thing.
Most kind,
Mr. All right.
I'll be calling you tomorrow.
Right, that'll be fine.
On the driver's side, busted in, Inspector.
Not even by me. No one's going to mourn him. In fact, there may even be a few who will cheer a little under their breaths. So if it does turn out to be murder, I think you'll find you have more suspects than you know what to do with.
It's murder.
It was a heart attack.
It was murder.
Here's the coroner's report. No poison, nothing.
There, I told you something was burning. No, right in front of you. The pot holder.
Oh, it smells good and strong, Dad. Not tonight, Dad. I still got a book to finish by noon.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those nights, is it? Well, I'll stop by the drugstore and get some sleeping pills.
I guess it'd be okay, you being a friend of his and all.
Just a little surprise for an old comrade. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That's it. Wentworth's broken car window at the museum. Now I know what it means. I may be wrong, but I think I know how Norris Wentworth was killed, and why, and who did it. Remember, the autopsy definitely established it was a heart attack. But was someone responsible for that heart attack? I think so. And it all has to do with a broken window in Wentworth's car outside the museum, and the key ring in his pocket. Let's see if we come up with the same answer.
In a few minutes, this famous mystery writer will be dead. Who killed him? Was it his mistress?
He was dead already.
The sore loser?
Come on, you hated Manning. Admit it.
The distinguished publisher?
Well, that insignificant toad.
The ambitious ex-wife?
I was home in bed.
The underpaid research assistant?
Murder? What murder?
The loyal secretary?
We drank to Edgar's death.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Hello? Edgar?
What's the matter with the phone?
It just went dead. That's funny.
Here, try this. Guaranteed to kill every germ in your body. He was hit with that hammer. It's got blood on it.
The blunt instrument.
Oh, Edgar had invited some people over to celebrate. He'd planned it in advance. His ego wouldn't let him believe he wouldn't win. It was a small gathering. Edgar didn't have many friends. There was George Tisdale, Edgar's publisher, and me, Edgar's secretary, and Mateo, his houseboy. He didn't live in, by the way. Edgar was fond of his privacy. Cliff Waddell, Edgar's research assistant. He was here when we arrived. He didn't go to the awards dinner. Magda Samini, the actress, and more than a very good friend of Edgar's, Nick McVeigh. He writes all those tough guy detective stories. And Edgar Manning.
Now, that is a very classy-looking hunk of hardware.
That was the last time I ever saw Edgar alive.
you not know about the murder?
I didn't see the papers.
Well, of course. There's only one person that could have taken Manning's other key.
What makes you think I took that key?
You looking for something?
Oh, I didn't know there was anybody here.
Of course, you couldn't know that the lights were on, huh? Pal?
Said she was in.
And ask him not to be so heartless.
Then you decided to kill him.
No, he was dead already. When I kept knocking on the door, he didn't answer. So I went in and I found him dead. Poor Edgar. Inspector, what are you going to do with this letter?
There's not much I can do except turn it over to the federal authorities. I'm sorry.
The immigration? Well, surely you could do something else. Ellery?
Ellery? To Ellery Queen for an outstanding job in unmasking a killer and for celebrating the same event at a restaurant with his aged father. A restaurant noted for the delectability of its lobsters and waitresses.
Thank you, Dad. You know, I feel a lot better. I think I beat my cold. I haven't sneezed once today.
Good, glad to hear it.
Well, Gesundheit. Forget that restaurant. I'm taking you home.
No, that's nothing.
We're gonna nip this thing in the bud. I've got the most fantastic cure-all, hot lemonade and sassafras mixed in with the extract of a pound of calf's liver.
I can't stand liver.
And after a rub-down with menthol and oil of peppermint, you take a bath in scalding chicken soup, hold the noodles.
This famous nightclub owner is opening a rare vintage and his coffin. Who killed him? Was it the mind reader?
I have come here to help you identify the murderer.
The pianist?
I don't care who killed him.
The dead man's partner?
I know that makes me a good suspect.
The ambitious singer?
Oh, Johnny, what is it? What's the matter?
The clumsy wine steward?
The pain was excruciating.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
Would you check the names on this list, please?
Dad, are you sure Simon Brimmer's going to discuss the Allenby Road murder case on the air?
As sure as I am that Brimmer called my office with an anonymous tip to listen to his radio program, I swear to you, Ellery, if he tries to bust open my case, I'm going to book him on his own lousy broadcast.
May I have your hat, sir?
May I help you, gentlemen?
Yes, we'd like a table for two, please.
Do you have a reservation?
No, we don't have a reservation, but we have this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Police.
Yes, we'd like a table as close as possible to where Mr. Brimmer is doing his radio interview.
Yes, of course. This way, please.
But still robust and full of life.
Would you look at these prices? 75 cents for a hamburger. That's outrageous. I can buy 3 pounds of hamburger for 75 cents.
So why don't we listen to his broadcast on our own radio at home?
I can't arrest him at home.
Oh, you're not going to arrest him?
No, I'm not, eh? In April, I was about to nab that Duffy woman in the Park Avenue penthouse murders. He went on the air, spilled the beans, exit Miss Duffy.
Where's Nick?
I have no idea.
Start without him. Marty.
Yes, Mr. Morgan.
Find Nick and tell him we're starting the show.
Very good, sir.
Okay.
Well, what's so special about it, son?
The insignia on the ring matches the emblem on the bottle.
What?
The Black Falcon.
What?
My dear lady, I only want you to translate the words from the label.
I'm sorry, Dutch. I'm Dutch, I'm not German.
Well, I just assumed your name is Schumann.
But I'm Dutch. Everybody makes the same mistake. I'm sorry, I do not speak German, sir. Excuse me.
I wonder if Nick is trying to tell us something about his killer.
A dying clue?
Well, the way he was holding that bottle.
Hallo?
Guten Abend, Frau Schumann.
Ja, ich bin Flora Schumann.
Wie geht es Ihnen, Flora?
Danke gut. Who is this, please?
Interesting, Frau Schumann. How this afternoon you were unable to speak any German, yet here we are having ourselves a fine talk.
Flora?
Hello? Flora? Would you, hand me the sugar, please? That's cream. I asked for the sugar.
Sugar? There isn't any sugar.
You had some on your cereal.
Yeah, I guess I did.
So where's the sugar bowl?
I must have put it in the refrigerator.
That's a sink. That's a refrigerator. Why does everything in this house end up in the refrigerator? Mittens, manuscripts. I've told you time and time again. A place for everything and everything in its place.
Dad, I just remembered.
Where the sugar is.
You're absolutely right.
I am?
There is a place for everything. Let's go.
Go? I want to have my coffee. Where are we going?
Come on.
Santa, you remember you said you broke your arm rearranging this wine.
That's right.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I fell off a ladder.
I'll be with you in just a minute. Well, I think I know what happened. Do you?
Oh, that's really lovely. There is nothing so sacred as true sentiment, shared intimately by those who have sacrificed so much. I'm sure they'd love to tell the world about it on my radio show tomorrow night.
Simon, you could always ask.
Oh, I will, Queen. I will.
In a matter of seconds, this contender will take his last count. Who killed him? Was it his sparring partner?
Hogan's dead, and they're saying I did it.
His manager?
I had the bottle. I made the kid drink it.
His fiancée?
We're going to be married after he won the championship.
The ring physician?
I'm just a transplanted country doctor.
The gangster?
How would you like to have your legs broke?
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen. See if you can guess who done it.
Doc?
He's dead, Syne.
Dead? He can't be. Kid.
Now listen, wait, Sam.
Kid.
Sam! Did you hear what I said? He's dead. Now go get the police. Go get him as fast as you can.
How is he? How is he?
Hey, how is he? How's the kid?
I gotta get to the phone, will you? Let me alone, will you?
He's going to be all right, isn't he, Sam? Sam.
Hey, Joe! Hey, Joe! Hey, hold up! Skimmerhorn's gym on 8th Avenue. And hurry. The kid's dead. He's dead.
Sparring partner hits and runs. This is Flanagan. Stop the presses.
Sure you won't come along, son?
Huh? No, thanks, Dad.
Might be interesting from a research point of view. Prize fighter gets killed while training for championship bout.
Poisoned.
My son tells me you want to make a statement, Mr. Adams.
How am I doing, Doc?
Hello, Joe.
May I see you for a minute, Mr. Queen?
Mr. Queen.
Yes.
Your car is waiting, sir.
My car?
Yes, the one that's going to take you where you're going.
Where am I going?
You'll know when you get there.
You're O'Neill. I recognize you from your picture. That reminds me, I have to call my dad.
Get in the car.
Well, I guess I could always call him when I come back. I am coming back, aren't I?
Move.
Boys, go on in the house and grab yourself some milk and cookies. How would you like to have your legs broke?
No, I don't think I'd like that.
Then get Joey off the hook.
Well, I've already got him partway off the hook. Now, I found out that he could not have gotten the poison from that pharmaceutical college.
Yeah? How come?
There's none missing.
He could have got it somewhere else.
Well, that's why he's partly on the hook. Well, I really should be calling my dad.
Hey! Told you, no sudden moves.
I forgot.
He forgot. You got a lot of moxie, kid. I like your style.
This better be good.
Stop him! Manager manages murder. This is Flanagan. Stop the presses!
Miss Ogden?
Where's Joe?
Ellery? What are you doing in the kitchen? Sam dropped the poison in the bottle, waited for his opportunity, forced Hogan to drink it. What are you staring at me for?
The milk.
Well, what about it? Is it sour?
No. Don't you realize what you did with it?
Yeah, just poured it in my cup.
Yeah, but how?
Like this. How would you do it?
Same way. That's my point. Now I know who didn't kill Kid Hogan.
Who didn't kill him?
I also know who did kill Kid Hogan.
Thanks, Really. Ellery, I guess you can begin.
Not yet, Dad. There's still somebody missing.
Forgive me, Melinda. I'm sorry.
Junior, just one question. Why did you ask Kim here?
To make sure Frank Anthony got the story right.
Yeah, you can never believe what you read in the Gazette.
My story. My front page column.
Flanagan fingers wrong man.
I gotta get to a phone.
Excuse me. May I?
Be my guest.
This model train enthusiast just highballed his last freight. Who killed him? Was it his wife?
That means the killer had to know how the system worked.
The trusted employee?
Emily, he's dead. Why go into all that?
His domineering wife?
Lamont had become senile. We all knew that.
The ambitious tycoon?
Inspector, I believe you are calling me a liar.
The playboy brother-in-law?
Wait a minute, I didn't even know about that door.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
You. Got your pass? You can't ride the LNF without a pass or a ticket. Wait a minute, this pass expires next month. I better see about getting this renewed for you. I'm not even sure I should let you in tonight. We're awfully busy. I got 6 freights heading for Chicago and points west, 80 cars apiece, high priority stuff. And the Broadway Limited and the 20th Century, they're already overloaded.
No need to be frightened, Bridget.
Oh, I'm not frightened, sir.
Here it is, Ed. They just broke the case. Police issued an all-points bulletin tonight for Douglas Carmichael. Now the prime suspect in the murder of industrialist inventor Lamont Franklin, whose body was found earlier this evening in the workshop
of his fashionable home in the Bronx. Franklin, inventor of the Franklin bomb sight and other wartime weapon systems, had been in the workshop since early afternoon, and the only person known to have seen him was Carmichael, Franklin's brother-in-law, who disappeared shortly after 5:30.
I think Carmichael's story's so bad, it just might be true.
Fire, sir.
Ellery! Feely, stop him!
May I see what you got there?
What is this, Inspector? Some sort of code?
You tell me, Mr. Sidwell.
I haven't the faintest idea.
Thinking he was like a great thoroughbred who'd suddenly gone lame. The drive, the brilliance, all of it gone. I pictured him living out his years, totally dependent on me and Doug. Oh, why didn't he trust me? Why didn't he tell me?
Ellery? Did I hear a woman's voice coming from your bedroom?
Yeah, Miss Farnsworth.
Oh. Miss Farnsworth?
You remember, Dad, the girl from the school?
How am I doing?
9 minutes, 20 seconds.
I suppose there's a logical explanation for all this.
Of course there is. I don't mean to be rude, but would you itemize that for me, please?
You come again, sir, okay?
Let's go.
Where?
Police headquarters.
Well, what do you have to look at?
A photograph. I was looking at it this morning.
You know, you're very nice, but sometimes you don't make much sense. But what I don't understand is why Roger killed him.
Must have been something he married.
This is going to be so exciting. Tonight we're going to
Collaborate.
collaborate.
This racketeer is dead, and this man is on trial for his murder. Is he guilty, or was it the victim's shop-worn wife?
You still trying to prove I killed my husband?
The defendant's wife?
Did you find the missing witness?
The seedy defense attorney?
My whole case depends on that witness.
The hot-tempered young mobster?
So I was married to her. So what?
His powerful father?
He was brutally murdered for no reason.
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen, and see if you can guess who done it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Wednesday night, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Nick Dinello alone in his apartment. A man comes to see him, Linville Hagen. Hagen is angry. He believes that Nick Dinello is behind an extortion ring that is trying to take away his business. Never mind whether the charge is true. It's enough that Lynn Hagen believed it to be true, and he has admitted that. The words become more heated. Hagen takes out the pistol he's brought with him. He takes aim and fires in cold blood, putting an end to Nick Dinello's life. How many shots were fired? How far apart? A minute? 5 minutes? No one can agree, but you can agree on this. Linville Hagen owned that gun. His prints were found on the weapon. A paraffin test proved that he had fired the gun.
Order in the court! Order in the court!
The prosecution is wrong. There was a woman in that room. A woman in a green dress whose identity we do not know. A woman we've tried unsuccessfully to locate for the past 4 months. Lynn Hagen was pleading with Nick, his back to the open window. Both Dinello and the woman were facing the window. As they argued, a shot rang out. Lynn Hagen turned around just as a pistol was tossed into the room through the window. Unaware that it was his gun, Lynn Hagen fired 2 shots, but missed. He turned back into the room. The woman had disappeared, gone without a trace. So Nick Dinello was dead, and Linville Hagen had been framed, beautifully framed.
There it is, Sonny.
You wait in the hall while I talk to her. For a story like this, I'll wait in a broom closet. Junior, the window! Same MO. A shot through the window and then down the fire escape, only this time the killer didn't leave the gun behind.
That's not the only difference. She's still alive.
The doorway. Move it. Let him through. Move it. Are you ready? The lady in green. The mysterious missing eyewitness in the St. Patrick's Day murder.
Take your time. That's the woman who was with Nick Dinello that night.
You sure, Lynn?
Sure, I'm sure, Ellery. That's her. Daddy Lomax.
Jimmy Dinello?
That's right, Maestro. Dottie Lomax was married to Nick Dinello's brother.
I thought this was your night to do the dishes. Maybe I ought to go down there.
Come in.
Mr. Queen, I understand your father's looking for my son and me. I saw the news story in the Gazette.
This is the way it was delivered, Inspector.
Hey, watch it, really.
Don't worry, Inspector. The guys at the bomb squad said this thing wouldn't go off in an A-bomb attack.
No, Commissioner. Ellery, we better get Flanagan to the vets.
Okay, I'll be with you in a bit.
See you in the car.
All right. Well, there it is.
The man in this portrait is dead. Who killed him? Was it his bereaved widow?
Welcome to the hour of disenchantment, Mr. Queen.
The family doctor?
He had about 4 months to live.
The business partner?
Well, that rules me out because I was in Albany at the time.
The mysterious priest?
Inspector, I am not going to reveal to you what passed between us.
The Oriental visitor?
Which leads you to suspect that a Chinese committed the crime?
Or was it someone else? Match wits with Ellery Queen and see if you can guess who done it.
We just loosened that noose to get him down. We didn't want to hurt the evidence up there.
Doc, where are the flowers?
You mean the ones he had around his head?
Yeah.
They're in the house.
Thanks, Doc.
My pleasure.
You did, eh? Fine, Judson. Oh, that's good work. Hi, Ellery.
Hi, Dad.
This is breaking and entering. You know that?
Dad, you're a police officer.
Oh, for the moment. Now, what's all this about a dying clue?
I want you to sit down at the desk.
Why?
I want you to write something for me.
What?
Dad, please.
Write something?
Pen, paper.
What is this, my last will and testament?
I want you to write. The person who killed me is...
Yeah?
I want you to write that.
The person who killed me is... Who?
I don't know. Let me see your hand. You see that, Dad? The pen leaks. George Sherman had ink stains on his fingers. His right hand was sitting at this desk, and he was writing something.
The name of his killer?
Killers, maybe. If I could only figure out.
Ellery.
Shh.
Ellery, I don't have a gun.
That's all right. Let's find out who it is and what he wants.
It's too late. He's gone. I'll put up...
You're looking for me. Please follow the black limousine. Now park behind you.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Queen.
Okay, see. Okay, what they're doing
What I said. Of course, that's got to be it.
out of here by 9 o'clock. Well, Dad, about that, I'm afraid I can't make it. I have to be at the house tonight.
What for?
I found a plumber.
Oh, wonderful.
But you see, the plumber can only come tonight at 10 o'clock.
Tonight? Oh, that's too bad.
Well, maybe I can get him to come another time.
No, Ellery, I don't think you can.
Oh, Dad.